Good evening. Happy Saturday. Savage Saturday. Keepers of the Cash. And it's Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, here with another Savage Saturday comic review. This time, episode 47. We're approaching that big 50 mark, which will be fun. But today, I'm going to review a book that a bunch of people in the community have asked me about. So hopefully they'll find this video, they'll enjoy it, and let's get on with it, shall we? And the book in question is Conan the Barbarian, 2099. Now, I got a couple different covers for it. Here's the variant, and there's a higher one too, which I didn't pick up. It was a little pricey. But this is written by Gerry Duggan, and he has done a fantastic job writing Conan in the Savage Avengers series. Not only has he brought him to the modern Marvel age, he's kept him in character, and he's kept the basics of what make Conan Conan. And he does the same thing here. He's very adept with his writing of Conan. He never gets the character out of character, or at least very rarely so. I think the only time I ever thought he was a little out of character was that forced tie-in with the King in Black. But that was it. He writes a great Conan. So if Gerry Duggan's writing Conan, I'll read it. But anyway, let's get on with it. So we already know the writer. The artist is Roger Antonio, and he really did a great job on the art. Conan looked like Conan. The adaptation was nice, and Eric Arciniega on the colors, because the colors really pop in this issue, and they really add a lot to it. All right, and we got DC's Travis Lanham as the letterer. And I'm not sure who did this cover, which one this is. This is either, I'm sorry, Jeff Shaw and Edgar Delgado. Alright, but let's get into it. So, the book opens and it's kind of a flashback to Conan with the Savage Avengers. He's with Doctor Strange. He's fighting Kulan Gath. So it's taking place in an alternate Conan timeline where he's in our modern Marvel age. And he's talking and still dealing with his destiny. Him becoming a king at some point. No matter what the timeline is for Conan, he's destined to be a king. It doesn't matter if he's brought to the modern world or he stays in the Hyborian age in Samaria and ultimately takes over Aquilonia. Alright, but we had the quick flashback, and Conan's ruling. He's in the future, and you see him scaling a building, and you don't know where he's going, but he comes across a plot to overthrow him, and they're saying the king must die. And there's this sort of long table meeting of the bad guys, just your basic, getting together to overthrow somebody. And you got the one megalomaniac at the head of the company. Because remember, this takes place in 2099. These are all companies ruling everything. And this guy's like, my rule will be just. We must push back against the Mad King Conan. And you find out why he's called the Mad King. But Conan busts into this place, and to a man, he takes him down in savage Conan style. And so you get the savage part. And I'm going to be showing you pictures over here. It's fantastic. This Conan 29 was way better than it had any right to be. And that's because of Gerry Duggan and the rest of the creative team on it. They just did an incredible job. But Conan takes out everyone in that boardroom. He's got his new energy sword, and it's just fun. But he's savage. The art is popping in it. Conan looks like Conan with a little bit of a modern twist. He's got a necklace of cyborg fingers, and it's cool. He always has his trophies. And he's having another flashback to years before when he became king there in 2099. And he was approached by this sorceress. He didn't know who it was. She was trying to offer him a deal to help overthrow Doom 2099. He didn't take it, knowing that it was Morgan Le Fay in disguise. Wow, I can't talk today. It's been a long, long day, but I wanted to get this done. As you can tell, my voice is shot. But he defies her. He knows who she is. Conan's no fool. And another great thing about Jerry Dugan right now is just he gets all the aspects of Conan in the book. But she says very well she's mad that her ruse didn't work, and she puts a curse upon Conan. She threatens him, telling him that he can't kill her, and he proves her wrong by running her through with a sword. It's really cool, and but before she dies, she puts a curse on him, and she no longer has a body, but now she lives in Conan's mind. So she's sharing the space with him up there. And throughout all these years, we flash back to the present where he's in 2099 now, and she's a constant voice in his head, and he talks to her and he yells at her. He's mad at her, and people hear this and they think Conan's crazy, that he's talking to some sort of specter, or that he's just a loony, lost his marbles type of savage. But there's a method to the madness. There's a reason that he's doing it. He's the only one that can see it. He is since he's been cursed. All of a sudden, his rule has been starting to wither. So the land is going away. It's failing. The crops are failing. Things are turning to dust. People aren't prospering like they should under his rule. And Conan sees all this, and he's walking through the kingdom. He has some boys offer him water. He just walks by him, and he knows that he's not going to take from him. He's just observing the lay of the land and how his kingdom is today. And he knows what he must do, so he addresses his subjects. He lets them know that they need to go and trek and make out their own way, that he is not going to be king no more. And he throws down the crown. He gives up being king because he knows it's the best thing for his people. He doesn't want the curse that's on him to affect the people that he rules over. And he's a selfless king in that way. He's always looking out for his lieges, and it's just very, very on point for Conan, and just really enjoyable to read. That he cares so much about his subjects that he would give up the crown to ensure they have a better life. So we move on, and Conan's wandering these wastelands outside his rule, and this blaze goes to the sky and it just crashes. And when he comes upon it, it's a Nova warrior, right? One of the Nova Corps. And he turns over the helmet, tells Conan that to stop a war, Conan's got to get this back to the Nova Corps headquarters and turn this helmet in. And then he's attacked by these wolves of the wasteland, which he just is beheading and killing to a wolf, just done. And in the last act of his life, the Nova Corpsman, he holds up the helmet, return to angels. Conan takes it, and then Conan with the Nova Corps helmet on, he just looks badass. It looks good. It shouldn't, but it does, and it's great. And he's still very much a Conan in character. Instead of the horn helmet, he's got the Nova Corps helmet. But he gets to the Nova Corps building. Along the way, he's meeting resistance, nothing he can't handle. But once he gets there, he finds that the place is burnt out. It's done. Morgan Le Fay's talking to him, taunting him the whole time, and he gets all the way in there just to find skeletons in Nova Corps costumes. That's it. They're decimated. Their order is gone. If there are any of them still alive, he doesn't have any knowledge of it. So he's talking to their headquarters in their ship. He takes off in a ship with the last starfighter Nova Corps guy that was there in a suit. And he leaves Earth behind. Now, he's got away. When Morgan cursed him, she said that he would never be free of the curse until the sand burned under his feet on Earth. Or burned under his feet. Conan's got a plan. So he flies the Nova Corps spaceship all the way out to space. Morgan Le Fay is taunting him the whole time, laughing at him because all the Nova Corps are dead. Telling him he was on a stupid mission that is not going to see any fruition because everyone he was supposed to bring the helmet to isn't there anymore. So Conan tells the ship, to plot him a course to this star, and this star is burning bright, basically a sun. And the machine tells him, the ship tells him, look, if we take you there, if I fly there, you're gonna die. You can't withstand it. And Conan's like, a contagion dwells within me, machine. It must be burned out. And Morgan's starting to figure out what Conan's doing, and she's getting angry. It's like, you should be mad by now. I've taunted you for decades in your mind. You should have broke. Conan doesn't break. He may bend here or there, but he doesn't break. So he's got a plan. He's at peace with his plan, even if it kills him. But he does have the Nova Corps helmet, and he had the ship fix it while they were flying out there. And once he gets close to the sun, that's it. The sand under his feet catches fire. He's protected by the Nova Corps equipment. And Morgana Le Fay is finally defeated after centuries and centuries and centuries of messing with everybody. This is her final death. This evil sorceress from King Arthur's times has finally met her end because Conan outwitted her. It took him decades, but he found a way. And then the last page is just Conan out in space, leaving Earth and Crom behind to find a new frontier for him to conquer. And it was just really, really solid issue, really well written. It's not an action-packed issue. There's plenty of action in it, but it's not the focus. The focus is on the character of Conan, which is as it should be. You get Conan the King. You get Conan's empathy for his people. You get Conan the Savage fighting people. You get him fighting internal struggles that no one else can see. And overall, you see the perseverance of Conan to overcome and conquer whatever's in his path. And he uses his wits, he uses his savage ability, he uses his survival instincts, and he always comes out on top. Even if it takes him a while to do so, he perseveres. And that is a really great thing in this issue. Gerry Duggan really captures the Conan character well, no matter what time he puts him in. And those stories usually don't work well. It takes a really good writer to pull it off, and he does in A+ style. And I've read a lot of Characters Out of Time stories, which are just garbage, cover to cover, and I struggled through them. I got at least a short box of them. This is not that. This is really good. Rob Fatstacks, $20.99. Get on this book, buddy. But that's the review. The cover art, A+. The interior art, A+ by, and I already forgot the guy's name, unfortunately, Roger Antonio. Just great. The colors pop. The letters are good. They don't detract from the story. They convey the story well in a proper way. And this is a $20.99 title I would have never asked for, and I would have never knew I needed. But once you read it, it's really good. And I've had this in the collection for a while, since they put it out 2 years ago. And I thought I would be the only one that enjoyed it and liked it. People wanted a review. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you check out the issue. Gerry Duggan did a great job with it. Everyone, the whole creative team did a great job. Love the ending. Leaves it open for more. And hopefully they'll revisit the story. And hopefully it's Gerry Duggan writing it again, so we can see another stellar outing of an Elseworlds type of Conan. And what if Conan. And it's just great. So until next time, guys, don't only keep it savage, keep it casual as well. That's it.